Libby, oh, it's the Libby O show. Libby, oh. Hey everybody, I'm Jillian Edwards and you are watching the Libby O show.
How did she do it? Do it.
Libby, oh, Libby, oh, Libby,
3, 2,
Libby.
1.
It's the Libby O show.
Jillian Edwards, welcome to the Libby O Show. How are you?
Thank you. I'm so good. So happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm happy that you're here too. So, how's quarantine been?
Quarantine has been, I feel like there are days when I'm just like, this is easy, no problem, like not that different than normal life. And then there's other days where I'm just like, we got to go somewhere. We're getting in the car, don't know where we're going. We're just driving around.
Going
But
on
it's going good. How's your?
It's good. You know, going on a drive has helped me as well. I did that the other day where I drove all the way through Franklin to Leapers Fork and back. And it was really long. I got to Natchez Trace, then I was like, I better turn around or it's going to take like 2 hours for me to get home.
Yeah, it's a good drive though. I live in Franklin and I love driving to Leapers Fork. There's like, well, when quarantine's over, I'm sure everything was closed, but there's this adorable coffee shop like on wheels in Leapers Fork called Redbird. It's so cute, and lavender latte. Anyway, next time you do your drive, you need to go there.
Oh, I love lavender lattes. I feel like that's something that like not many people, like there's like the whole turmeric and then like the matcha trend, but lavender, 100%, we're all going to need it after the whole thing. So
Yes.
you've got a new EP coming out called Meadow.
Yes.
And I've
Yes,
had the
ma'am.
pleasure of hearing a lot of it. And I just want to know, I was reading through, the story behind the EP and the songs and your vision. And there was this one part where you're saying that you felt this urgency to make songs that were a response to both faith shaking and faith solidifying moments.
Yes.
And I feel like we're in a season where our faith is really being tested. And so how do you feel like these songs are going to provide hope to people during this kind of uncertain time?
Well, if my dreams come true for this album, it would be, even if just one person could find some rest in the fact that God is a loving God and he takes care of us. And for me, it's just, when the circumstances around us are unsteady and, it's so easy to even subconsciously put my trust in circumstances and how life is looking. And, if I'm having a great day, I'm feeling great about myself, or, everything's going my way, it's easy to let that define, who I am and my, the condition of my heart. Or, same for if a really bad day happens or if circumstances are really hard, it's easy to let that define. But whenever all of that identity and trust is intentionally placed in God, then it's unshakable. So I would hope that anyone who hears this would be able to have that peace that, circumstances are nuts right now in the world and we're all in this crazy season and no one's ever done this before. We haven't been through this before as the world. So, I would hope that, that these songs give language to faith-shaking moments, and you can still have questions and be confused and angry or hurt or scared. You can still be a human, very human, and lean into God and trust that he is the steady place in all this unsteadiness. So
think about just like how much I mean, even as an artist, going off of that, like,
Mhm.
what kind of doors have you seen open with having this kind of technology? Not even just during quarantine, like just in general, being able to connect with
Mhm.
fans and connect with people that really, love your music and everything.
Yeah. Well, first off, on the writing side, for Concord Music Publishing, my publisher, who it's kind of on the sync and ad songwriting side of things, as soon as quarantine started, they immediately put together an online writing camp. So we were the first weekend of quarantine. They were setting us up on Zoom calls or FaceTime with. They put us in different groups that they thought we'd work well together. And so I was writing with people I had never written with. I wrote with someone who was in LA. I wrote with someone who was in Sweden. And I had never. I think a lot of people writing on FaceTime or Skype or Zoom is a regular thing, but I had never done it before, and quarantine has forced that on me. And so that's definitely been a big um, help, is just that we're able, essentially now you can write with anyone and anyone's available because we're all home and we all have computers, and my husband and I just record my vocal for the songs we write. The songs I write on Zoom with people, they just send me the track. Then my husband records my vocal at home at our little studio, and we call it a day. So it looks totally different than it did before quarantine. And then as far as connecting with people who listen to my music, there's um, several opportunities to live stream, and the whole Instagram live thing. I can't imagine if we didn't have that outlet right now.
Oh,
So that's been really cool. And I've watched other people's live streams and live concerts, and it's just awesome. I can't imagine if we didn't live in this time where that wasn't so accessible to us.
yes.
But yeah, I feel like everyone's just rolling with it and sort of, making do with what we have. So it's been awesome.
What's been your favorite live stream?
Ooh, well, uh, shameless plug. Colony House. My husband is in a band called Colony House, and they've done such an incredible job with their live streams. They're a 4-piece band, and two of them, my husband and his brother Caleb, are brothers, and then the other two are not brothers. So the other two are in their own houses, and then Caleb and Will, the brothers, obviously don't live in the same house, but they're close, and they've like social distanced but seen each other during quarantine. So they did a live stream where Caleb and Will were live, and then they like called in the other two guys separately, and they just like recorded all together. And I don't know, it felt really creative and fresh the way they did it. So that truly has been my favorite live stream is theirs.
I saw them at Pilgrimage. I think it was
Oh, really?
a year ago. Yes.
Yes. When
It
it
was
was so
so
hot.
good. Yes, it was right before. So I'm a huge Matt Carney fan.
Oh, yes. So
Um,
good.
and their set I think was before his. But
Okay.
they like their set was like right before, actually I think a storm hit at it was the year of the huge storm, where it might have been that. But anyways, I saw them live and their show was so great. Um,
Oh,
and I've
well,
enjoyed their new album. So
thank you.
yeah.
That's so sweet. I love that. Oh, man. I'm trying to remember. Maybe they played Pilgrimage twice, but there was one time when it was so hot and I was so pregnant, and that's really just what I remember about about it that year.
I feel like every year in Pilgrimage it's just been scorching.
Scorching. Scorching.
But it's like mini Bonnaroo. That's what because I've never been to Bonnaroo, but I feel like if I would ever go to Bonnaroo, Pilgrimage is like phase one.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
then
Like
when
the
I'm ready for Bonnaroo, I go to Bonnaroo. So
so good. So true. I love that.
do you and your husband ever write together, or do you kind of keep your projects pretty separate?
Since quarantine and since we've been kind of forced, like I was saying, to like if I want to record a vocal for my co-writes that I do online, then like Will has to record me doing it. And he's great with, sound gear and all that. I know nothing about that. So very thankful he does. So as we've been recording these vocals of songs I've written with other people, we're like, why don't we just work on stuff? So we have started to write together, and it's funny. I don't know, like, what if quarantine didn't happen? Like, I'm not sure we would have sort of like leaned into that, but yeah, we have, my husband and I and my brother-in-law Caleb also have a side project called the In-Laws. So we haven't released music in like years, and we released our first stuff like when we were engaged, I think, so forever ago. But that's sort of our outlet for collaborating together. So yeah, that always exists, the songs from the In-Laws stuff. So we work together on that.
And I want to talk more about the EP. The song Meadow is gorgeous. And I love the whole, like this idea of freedom that you present in the lyrics, and being able to just kind of go about life as it comes, and like leaning on Christ to bring us through these seasons of wandering or trying to figure out what our purpose is. And so can you talk about what that song means to you, and in terms of identity as a creator or creator of music, so to
Of
speak?
course. Thank you so much. I love that question. Yeah, Meadow, I just, first of all, I love the visual of Meadow, of the word meadow. I love like what comes to mind when I picture that. It's kind of like the like peaceful grassy hills, wild horses running in the distance,
Yes.
wildflowers around me. I'm like my idea of heaven, basically. But it's really that idea that there's this secret place of abundance, which is the presence with God, within me. And it is his power and his strength to provide everything I need, no matter what circumstances look like around me. So, what it doesn't mean is that life looks like a meadow all the time and that everything is easy. If you're a Christian, then life is happy, period. That's not what it means. It means like, in this world we will have trouble, but take heart, God has overcome the world. And no matter what sorrow or tragedy or pandemic or questions we're facing, we actually have access to joy in the middle of that and peace in the middle of that, because of that secret place of God's presence that we have access to. So Meadow is kind of the name I gave to that secret, quiet place.
So the people behind this, right? You have so many people behind this EP. Stephen Curtis Chapman, whom you're related to.
Yes.
So talk a little about like the elements that you wanted to have in this EP, maybe some musical influences that you all leaned on, and just what helped put together the vision for that part of the EP.
Yeah, thanks for asking. Great question. So Lucas Morton actually produced the album. He's a wonderful friend living in Nashville, and Papa Steve, aka Stephen Curtis Chapman, is my father-in-law, and he has been, whether we were working together or not, professionally, he would be a mentor of mine in this process. But thankfully, I do get to work with him, and he is the executive producer of this album. So he has been a voice speaking into it sort of from like bird's eye view, and helping with decisions on songs and stylistically different paths to take. He definitely has expertise in the field I'm going into on faith-based music, so which is new for me, to release an album that's specifically centered around my faith. I've always written songs through the lens of faith, but this is the first time that I so excited to just be talking about faith specifically. And so yeah, let's see. different influences we leaned on. Um, let's see. Naturally, I kind of grew up like loving a lot of pop and country and kind of a hodgepodge of things and Christian music. And so I feel like to throw out any name of my favorites, it's like all across the board. Let's see. Man, it's so, I don't know why that's the hardest question for me, is like, who are my influences? Because like, I mean, Alison Krauss is one of my favorite voices of all time. Uh, so I think I naturally, like, I don't, I love, I think she's influenced me. Um, let's see. Oh, it's so hard. I'm like, Mariah 1990s Mariah Carey is my above all, end all favorite. Like, always be my baby, all that. I sound nothing like Mariah Carey. My music sounds nothing like that.
But she was prime in the 90s.
But
So it's like, I mean, like, that was like her one of her best times in her career.
oh my goodness, so good. It's just such, when I hear any of those songs, it's just so nostalgic. So anytime someone asks my influences, I'm like, I don't want to say Mariah because I sound nothing like her, but she is.
I feel like you could hit like the super high notes in her songs. Like you have you could take a very angelic take on a Mariah Carey. Yeah.
I'll receive that. Thank you.
Yeah. Take it. Own it.
That's so sweet. But then, like, do you ever listen to the Weepies? Or I love the Weepies. They're like one of my favorite bands ever. Again, I'm like, I don't sound like Mariah Carey, I don't sound like the Weepies either. But it's like, I don't know if you can tell from those references, but it's sort of like folk is in there. Like, I love lyrics. I love like an intimate vocal.
Mm-hmm.
And then like Nicole Nordman is someone who I grew up with, like her music. Bethany Dillon also, like as a teenager. Just those are examples of like really incredibly poetic women who really laid some groundwork of talking about faith in a way that I felt like was always honest and beautiful. So I think they also played a big part in my influence.
I think what's so cool about your story is you've just taken, I was even listening through your discography and how you have played around with just different sounds and different melodies. And I think that just makes you so versatile as an artist, but also as someone that's lending music to stories and ads, like the Citibank ad that you got last year. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I think I feel like the song First Snow is just that classic sentimental song that people hear on an ad and you immediately pay attention. And I feel like your voice is so perfect for it.
Thank you.
Yeah. And so what has it been like, what was it like during that season lending your storytelling to a narrative of an ad or a storyline of a TV show?
Yeah, well, so fun. So fun. It was kind of like, and I'm still continuing to do that. And that's a special outlet of songwriting for me, that just because it's not telling the story necessarily of my heart, like, intimate depths of my relationship with God and what faith looks like for me, and which is what gives me the most life, is sharing those kind of songs that are just really personal. But the songs for the ads and TV shows, it's like my heart is still in those songs. Obviously, I can't write a song or sing a song that I don't put myself into. So it's life-giving in a totally different way. And the Citibank song is called First Day of My Life, and that's actually a cover song. So I did a covers record, and so Connor Oberst wrote that song, Bright Eyes. Did you know that song?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, that's one of those songs that was on like mix CDs in college, like, passing around. So that song was super nostalgic for me. And I think what I love about that song specifically is the way he wrote it. You just like, when I sing it, I'm like, it feels so me. Like he's so, and what I'm saying is, I think anyone could sing those words, and you could like find your home in them. So I think that's the art of good storytelling and good writing is, being able to talk about things that are personal to you, and then it feels like it's personal to somebody else, and it's telling another story while telling your story at the same time. And but it's been super fun to have songs I've written for other characters and other storylines. I'm sad Nashville, the TV show, is no longer with us. Well, actually, it's not. I think it's done. It's done, right?
It's done, but they do. I know they're like I'm sure they run, old episodes.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
I had a few songs in that show, and that was probably my favorite experience because it's a show about Nashville. The characters, it wasn't a recording of my voice singing the songs I wrote, like in the background. It was the actual characters singing, like because they're songwriters and singers in the show. So I loved things I wrote, like going into the storyline, and actually the characters singing it themselves was super exciting for me. So, well, you mentioned the freedom in that song, and there's kind of this childlike fearlessness in Meadow that, what if there's nothing to be afraid of, is one of the lines in that song. So I think as a person who writes songs, I want to send songs out into the world that are marked with that fearlessness and marked with that peace of God, and that place where, there can be fearlessness in this time of fear in the world, in this time of anxiety. There can be peace because of that freedom and that safe place that I have in God. So as a creative person, as a person writing songs, Meadow sort of is my stake in the ground of there's everything around me says there's reasons to be afraid, but I don't need to have any fear because I'm cared for and I am held by God. So
yeah. And another song that you released, I think it was your first single, Heaven's Eyes, which you're going to perform in just a second.
Yes, ma'am.
Talk about what that song means to you and why it was the first one that you wanted to release as a preview of this EP.
Yes, so Heaven's Eyes, I'm sure you know about Enneagram. I know it's like everywhere. It's like,
What are you?
I'm a 2.
Okay.
I'm a 2. What about you?
I'm a 1.
Yes, love it. I'm like, I know everybody has their opinions about Enneagram because it's like everywhere. I, for one, think it's an extremely useful tool, and I feel like it can be cradled. We can like use it as a crutch a little bit. I feel like it's not, like all defining, but it is a really helpful tool for me to be aware of myself. Anyway, I bring that up to say that as I describe this song, people who know about the Enneagram would be like, "Mirror too," because I am a person who is hungry for validation and hungry for approval. And that's kind of like one of the things about 2s is like the need to be liked and the need. Anyway, so Enneagram or not, that's the way I am. That's the way I was made. And I have this hunger for approval and validation. And this song, Heaven's Eyes, is my roadmap on what to do with that need and what to do with that hunger and where to take that need and that hunger. Because I have to remind myself and keep learning that the issue is not that I have that need. Like, it's not wrong that I have that need. It's a good need that God put in me. The issue is where I go to get that need satisfied. So when I take that need, rather than looking around me at successes or failures or titles or achievement or how liked I am, when I'm looking around at all those things to give me validation and approval and tell me who I am, then I come up dry every time and I'm disappointed every time. But if I take it straight to God, it turns out He delights to give me approval and give me validation. So I just have to ask, like, God, can you tell me again, like, how much you love me? Because I need to hear that and I need to know that. And He actually, like, is overjoyed to do that. So anyway, this song is about embracing that hunger and that need and taking it to God and letting Him fill that need for me. Because if not, then there's like identity crisis after identity crisis after identity crisis for me, where every circumstance or perception someone has on me, I'm like, is that who I am? Who do you think I am? Or,
Yeah.
yeah, to be totally honest, it's just like if I'm in an unhealthy spot, I'm just like clamoring for, somebody tell me like who I am. What you think of me matters. What you think of me. But whenever I take that like sincere desperation, like, God, who do you say I am? Then the identity crisis is averted. And it's like when I'm secure in that identity that He gives me, which is beloved, then I'm like able to give to other people instead of need from them. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And you're able to kind of filter through all of that noise of other people's opinions and just focus on like the one that matters, which is God's.
Yes, totally. Well, should I play it?
Yes.
Awesome.
Jillian Edwards, Heaven's Eyes.
I'm standing under the waterfall of your approval, and I find that I don't need anything else or anyone else but you. Your mercy's a song that I know by heart, but I forget the words the moment I start to trust anything else or anyone else but you. Show me how to stay here, stay here, stay here. I'll just wait here, wait here. Speak over me, tell me again that I'm someone you love. Let it sink in, tell me a million times who I am in heaven's eyes. So I'm letting go of all other names that I gave myself when I heard you say, come and find yourself in heaven's eyes, heaven's eyes. So I wanna know, see what you see, past all the versions and layers of me. Nobody knows me like you. A child you chose before I took a breath, every last detail like the back of your hand. Nobody knows I'm always known, always understood. You call me your own. Speak over me, tell me again that I'm someone you love. Let it sink in, tell me a million times who I am in your eyes. I'm letting go of all other names that I gave myself when I heard you say, come and find yourself in heaven's eyes. Come and find yourself in heaven's eyes. Heaven's eyes.
That's gorgeous.
Thank you. Thanks.
Well, this has been such a pleasure. Thank you for
Yes, thank
being
you.
on the show and taking the time. And I can't wait. So the EP is going to be out May 15th.
Yes, Meadow is out May 15th, and Heaven's Eyes, that song is already out, and we're going to release one more single super soon. So, really excited. Thank you for talking. I love getting to meet you.
Yes, you too. Yeah, hopefully we'll get to see each other in real life.
Yes, real life. We can drive to Leaper's Fork.
Yes, I would love that. That would be so fun.
Yes.
Well, take care, and yeah, we'll talk soon.
Awesome. Thank you, Libby.
It's the Libby Show. The Libby Show. It's the Libby Show. It's the Libby Show.